Hello, my math friends. I know it's been a while, so we're going to review how we convert our different measurement forms. So remember, when we're talking about inches to feet, think about our ruler. If I have my ruler here, on my ruler I have 12 inches, and remember that equals 1 foot. So I'm going to use that to set up my conversions. So remember, I want to think, if I'm thinking how many inches are in 4 feet, I first want to set up my proportion. 12 inches in 1 foot. So I'm going to put my 4 feet on the bottom because I don't know how many inches are here. Inches go under inches, feet go under feet. Then remember, we used our cross multiplying. 12 times 4 is 48. And then I'm going to circle my other diagonal, my other wing here. And I know that this has to equal 48. So I'm going to think 1 times what is 48? This has to be 48 here. I could have also completed that the other way. If I knew 12 inches are in 1 foot and I need to get to 4 feet, I could think I did 1 times 12 equals 12. So 4 times 12 equals 48 inches. Either way would get you the correct answer. Let's put our 48 here. Let's go on and try another one. Now here, if I'm looking at 5 yards equals how many inches? So remember again, now we're going from inches to yards. So I'm going to draw my yardstick. Always draw a picture to help yourself. On my yardstick, remember I have 3 feet. So I have 1 foot equals 12 inches. 2 feet equals 24 inches. And 3 feet equals 36 inches. And this whole thing is 1 yard. Remember our yardsticks. So again, I'm going to set up my proportion. 5 yards equals how many inches? So I'm always going to come back to 1. So in 1 yard, how many inches are there? Look at your yardstick. 36 inches. So now I'm going to go ahead and set up my proportion. 5 yards. Okay, you pause the video here and try this. See if you can figure this one out right in here. Now let's check it. So you could have either used your cross multiplying or our regular multiplying. So here, if I did 36 times 5, remember you can come over on the side and do your math. 36 times 5 here, 15, 18, is 180. So I'm going to circle my other diagonal. And I'm going to think 1 times what equals 180? 180 inches. Again, you could have used the other method. 1 yard equals 36 inches. So 5 yards. Remember, here you could have thought 1 times 36 is 36. So I'm going to do 5 times 36 here to get the same thing, 180 inches. You need, on your summative on Monday, you're going to need to show me work, especially since this is a virtual test. So you need to pick if you like to show it this way or this way, but you are going to be required to show me your math. Okay, let's take a look at our last warm-up question here. Mrs. Feynman's playroom is 9 yards by 7 yards. What is the perimeter and area of the room? So I'm going to start with drawing my playroom. So draw a little picture. Remember, you can be using scrap paper at your house to be doing these, or you can do a split screen and use Notability, but you should be showing your work as you're watching this video. So pause the video here and tell Mrs. Feynman how you are showing your work. Are you showing your work on paper or Notability? You need to be an active learner while you're home. Okay, so now that you've drawn your picture, label your sides. 9 yards by 7 yards. Let's review. How do we find perimeter? Think about that word rim in there, right? Rim, like our basketball rim, is the outside. How would I find the outside measurements here? If this side is 9, down here would also be 9 yards. And if this side is 7, my other side would be 7. Pause the video and write down what is the perimeter. So for perimeter, you should have added up 9 plus 9 plus 7 plus 7. You could have also multiplied 9 times 2 and 7 times 2, and then add those up. So either way, you should have gotten 32. And remember, we label that yards. 32 yards for my perimeter. Now let's do the area. Remember, for area means what does area mean? That's right, the inside. So we want to know what the inside is. If it's 9 yards by 7 yards, right? This would mean like I had 9 yards going this way by 7 yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need to figure out how many squares would be covered there. Remember, the quick way we could do that would be, because I don't want to count all these little squares, 7 plus 7 plus 7 9 times. I could just do 9 times 7 to get 63 yards squared. Remember, it's 2 directions. It's length times width. We're covering an area, so we need that label in there. Okay, now let's take a look at what your classwork is for today. So this first page is a little tricky to do virtually if you don't have a ruler at home. So if you don't have a ruler at home, that is okay. I found one on the internet and I put it onto my document here. So if you want to do that into Notability, that's fine. But this page here, let me label, is optional if you don't have a ruler. Okay, so you could get a clip art ruler, or you could skip it. That's totally okay. I just took a picture of it and inserted the ruler on. So if you happen to have a ruler and you're drawing, remember all of our little inches marks here are into eighths. So remember how we talked about this whole thing is 1 inch, and then we have our half here And then our half is broken down into our fourths. And then our fourths is broken down into eighths. So if I was drawing a line that was 5/8 long, I'm going to count, I know 4 is right in the middle, I'm going to go one more long. So that would be my line that's 5/8 of an inch long there. Okay, so you could do that for those 4 if you have a ruler. If not, that's okay. Now, for the bottom section 2, if you don't have a ruler at home, that's okay. Just this page, we'll just do the best we can with. I'm not going to put this onto your summative. I just want you, if you have a ruler at home, to practice with measuring because it's important. Remember, when we're measuring to the nearest half, fourth, or eighth inches, just look at your marks on the ruler here. You're going to see what you could round it to be the closest. What I really want you focusing is this second page here. So this is where I want you showing me your work when you're completing this. So remember, you need to set up your proportions as you're working. If you forget any of your measurement conversions, go back to your notes and Notability to work on it, right? Make sure you're setting up just like we did in our warm-up. If it's yards to feet, right, you need to make your 5 yards equals how many feet? You need to come back to 1 yard equals how many feet, right? Set up your proportion. I'm looking that you're showing me your work. When you're finished with this, please submit it into Canvas, and I will post a video for tomorrow's work where you can check your work. Thank you guys. Hope everybody is staying safe.